Yay! Hello, hello, hello. I am Tina, and if you're watching me on Facebook, hello. If you're watching me on YouTube, subscribe. And if you're on LinkedIn, hello, hello, hello. Today, I am so excited because I am doing an interview with the person who's helping me make my dreams come true. If you've been watching any of my videos, listening to any of my lives, you know what I'm doing, right? I am doing a sneaker drive. This is my birthday year. I'm going to be turning 50 this year. Woo, woo, woo. I'm so excited. And I wanted to do something really special, really extraordinary for my birthday. Figured I travel enough. I didn't need that. Um, I also figured doing a party just really, helps other people. So this year I decided, you know what? I want to do that thing I've always wanted to do for the past 6 years. Is do a sneaker drive. My son was murdered 6 years ago, and this year, in honor of him, I am collecting 300 pairs of sneakers, and I need your support and your help. Okay, there's 4 ways of how you can help. The first way is you can donate sneakers. This Sunday, if you're in the Georgia area, I'm having an event. You can drop them off there, or you can mail them in New Jersey. Links in the bio somewhere. Or you can donate money. We have a GoFundMe. In the GoFundMe, it's called Molly Gain Sneaker Drive for Nigeria. The third way is to come to one of our events. I'm doing a women's empowerment event in New Jersey in August. Again, you can bring sneakers there. You can support. And the last way is just share the post, repost it, comment, like, subscribe, whatever. Today, I'm so honored that I get to interview the lady who's making this dream come true. And it's so funny. We were just talking, and she was talking about the ripple effect. And I said, when I first had this idea, I thought of, well, who do I know from Africa? And I thought of this beautiful girl who I love. Her name is Mo. She's from Nigeria. She always makes me the best jollof rice, the best jollof rice. And she says, well, Tina, remember the girl that took our class in the park? She has a nonprofit in Nigeria. Maybe she can help you. And I reached out to her, and this was probably 3, 4, 5, I don't know, in the beginning of the year. And it seemed really simple. I was like, yeah, she gave me the information. And then as time got on, it started sounding really big and scary. Originally I said 100 pairs of sneakers because that's a good number, right? And then I found out there were 200 children in the school. I'm like, well, there's no way I'm going to collect 100. The school we get there's 200 kids and there's kids not getting sneakers. So then I said 200. And last week I interviewed Emmanuel. He works at the school, and he told me there's 218, 20, something like that, over 200 kids in the school. So I'm like, all right, we got to bump up these. Actually, I didn't say it. One of my sponsors said this to me. She's actually helping me. She's collecting. Shelly is her name, Shelly Carter. She's collecting the sneakers in New Jersey. She says, Tina, we're doing 300. And I'm like, how? What money? Because, collecting the sneakers is the easy part, right? But getting the money. She says, Tina, don't worry about that. We're going to get the sneakers, then we'll worry about the money. So today I have the honor and the privilege, make the drum roll, of interviewing the founder of the school. Make some noise. Woo! So, girl,
Oh my gosh.
let me introduce you properly, because this is what I call a bio. If you guys are on Instagram, you'll see it there because I posted it. But I just want to read this beautifulness right here, guys. In front of you, this beautiful lady. And if am I pronouncing your name correctly, Bolane?
No, so it's Bolane.
Bolane. Ooh,
Yes.
it does sound much better when you say it. Bolane Williams-Olley is your favorite chief financial officer, dynamic leader, bold author, and serial solutions seeker. She is part owner of Mancini Duffy, a technology-first design firm, and founder of several impact organizations for improving education in low-income schools in Nigeria, empowering women and small firms, and creating awareness among NGOs across Nigeria. She is married with 2 beautiful children. You have to follow her on Instagram. She has the best videos. Okay, she didn't write that. I wrote that. She is passionate about service and is obsessed with throwing girl, let me tell you about her themed events. No holiday goes by. The birthday parties, they dress up like I love it. You got to follow them, guys. They're like that English couple in UK. They're great. Okay. Not only this, build boldly, chart your unique career path, and lead with courage. Is that the name of your book?
Yes, that's the name of my book.
What can we see it? Do you have a picture of it? Build boldly.
Yes.
Chart your unique career path, and lead with courage. Woo woo. This book was written to ignite individuals and leaders to take bold, courageous action when it comes to writing their own unique career playbooks for success. Can we start with that book right there?
Yes.
Hey, congrats on the book. Tell us, how can we get it, what it's about, all that wonderful stuff.
Yes. So Yeah, I wrote Bill Boldly Now. My book baby is over 6 months old. It came out in November. And essentially,
Yay.
thank you. And essentially what Tita said first of all, before I even jump into the book, I just want to give you a big shout out. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for everything you do. Your energy is amazing. You don't know how many people you touch. You are always
you.
positive. I'm always encouraged by your posts. I just want to give you your flowers.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
most especially for this drive that you're doing. We are extremely honored that you decided to work with us and work with my nonprofit and our school. You don't understand what this is going to do. And I know we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
everyone who is tuned in right now. This is going to be a great conversation. And as Tina said, we can start off a little bit with my book. So, so here it is, a bestseller.
Woo!
By the way, yeah. So Bill Bogley, I essentially wrote this book to ignite individuals and leaders to intentionally craft their own unique playbooks when you're building your career, because the best way to do this, and Tina, you're a perfect example of somebody who is constantly building boldly. That is your sure way of leaning fully into your authentic self, um, making sure that your own path and what you're charting is unique to you. I share my journey to becoming CFO and part owner of Mancini Duffy, and through my career path, through me sharing this journey, essentially it's meant to inspire you to write your own playbook. None of us have been given a playbook. So yes, we see people, we learn from people, we have mentors, but at the end of the day, the power is in your hands, right? So what are you writing? Are you in the driver's seat, or are you just watching your career unfold? And so it's meant to really ignite you to like be intentional and chart that playbook in your career and beyond, right? I share some personal things also. So please, you can find my book on Amazon, on all Barnes and Nobles, like all the platforms where you can purchase books. You can find it on there. The audiobook is coming out soon. So if you're a
Question for
mom,
you. Question about the book. When did you first have the idea? Like, when was the seed planted in your body, and how did that come to be?
yes. So I never really wanted to write a book. I was like, let me just keep working. Let me just keep having all this impact that I'm doing and this initiatives that I'm
Just
starting.
keep all that greatness to yourself. That's
Let
what you
me
were
just
thinking?
keep going. And in January of 2021, I had a really integral conversation with an older sis who was like, this career that you're talking about, a lot of these things that you're glossing over, do you know that people need to read this in a book? That there are lots of people who can learn from your story, right? So I moved to the States from Nigeria when I was 17 years old. And here I am now, 20 years after, CFO of like a really historic, rich legacy firm, So like, what essentially did you do to get here? And
Because
how
pause,
can
pause,
other,
pause, 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 pause for a hot second. Because I think you, like your sister said, you're glossing over this. You came from Nigeria when you were 17, a
yes,
whole new country, all
yep,
right? And now you're at the top of the company. You have people that were born here in America that are just struggling. Yes, I just wanted to make sure people got that.
yes. Yeah, so you see how you said pause? Like that's essentially what she did. She goes, pause, let's go back, let's dig in. And she said, I'm not putting any pressure on you, but I want you to go and think about, putting this in a book and like see how you feel. Because one, there are individuals who can learn. Two, there are other firm leaders, organizational leaders who can really learn from how you are now nurturing your people. How are you retaining your people? How are you keying in your leadership style? One of, showing that you care, which you don't hear a lot of in corporate, right? Showing how that you just really and truly want the best out of your people, which essentially allows people to stay with you. It needs to be in a book. And so I went away and I was like, why is it that why do I feel that I shouldn't write a book? And I realized that it was just fear, right? Like this was the next level shift next stage that I needed to conquer. And I said, feel that fear and you're going to do it anyway. The same way Tina was feeling that fear and upping her speaker numbers and doing it anyway. And I realized, like you said, there were integral moments that I identified that allowed me grow exponentially in my career path. And I was like, what did I do differently? One of the things that I realized that I did was that I really leaned into Bolane. Like, what made me different? What separated me from the pack of people? What allowed, my president at Mancini call me 10 years after we had an interaction when I first started my career was because of who I was, that unique person that I was, right? I was very open to, new ideas, new ways of approaching, looking for opportunities. So in my career in 2008, I was just starting out. I lived through the financial crisis as an employee, and I looked for opportunities to help me grow. And then now, of course, living through the global pandemic and now being a firm leader, right? Like, how am I creating opportunity for my firm? How am I creating opportunities for my people? All of these different things, sort of are culminated, or shared about in the book. And it's just been incredible, right? And so for me, along the way of like charting this corporate career, I'm very, very passionate about service, passionate about giving back. And so at various points, once I gained knowledge, once I gained information, I was like, I need to find a way to share back. I'd always been passionate about education, which is why 9 years ago, I formed She Builds Lives. Then it was called Bola Craft Cares. I used to crochet very cute little hats that I would donate to NICUs. And then over the years, it's evolved into, thinking about what if I crocheted hats or crocheted scarves and sold these scarves, got like $500, and I could use it to buy educational materials for a school in Nigeria. And that essentially, one project at a time, is how we've now done well over, what I call it, like 20 projects over the last.
You got to pause again. Yes. Whew. So this started with you crocheting something small and then got bigger and bigger and bigger, kind of like an avalanche, that ripple effect we talked about before. Yes.
Yes.
Now, when you first started this one little thing, did you think it would be where it is today?
No, not at all. And so that really, that is my motto, right? We dream very big, but you start small. Start with what you have. What is in your hands? What skills, what information, what ways can you give back with something small? I think what holds a lot of people back is that they have these big dreams and they think that they need to execute on version 10.0 right away rather than version 1.0, right? So you always have to start somewhere. And my very first project, I crocheted, I believe, was 30 hats. And I donated to a NICU in Brooklyn, actually. That was the very first project I did. And then, like 2 projects after, I was like, okay, maybe I could do something in Nigeria. And then Makoko was the first. So Wainina, the school that Tina's doing the Sneaker Drive for, was the first school project that I had done. And that was like our love at first sight and has now like evolved into this relationship that we have where my nonprofit has adopted the school as part of one of the schools that we constantly always support year in, year out.
Because he said it started, I think he said it was like 6 or 8 students is what it started with. Do you know the numbers?
No, so it was, we had done it was more than that. It was more than that. At that point in time, Emmanuel wasn't there. It was 200. They had 239. I quickly had to go to my notes. They had 239 children. We were able to do uniforms, math, and English.
Yes, and those are nice, by the way. I was looking at the uniforms. I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah, so this is our current day uniforms that you're seeing. So we just upgraded our uniforms, but we're able to do an initial 8 years ago. We did gave all the kids uniforms, gave them educational material, and then year in, year out, supported them. And then our big goal was in 2019 when Noah, the principal, called me to let me know that the building structure had been collapsing. It wasn't built properly. And if a lot of people tuned in, Makoko is a floating community, right? It's all
I
on
saw
water.
the water. He showed me pictures. The kids were by the water, and I
Yes,
saw boats
it's
going by.
all on water. And so he was like, Ma, we need to build a new school. And you know what I said? I said, yes. I didn't have the funds. I didn't know, how it was going to happen, but I knew that they needed to hear that yes from someone,
Yes.
right? And so same as you, I said yes. And fortunately for me, I had registered She Builds Lives as a 501c3. So I was able to reach out to my corporate network here, right? People are usually willing to donate and give, but you kind of have to have that registration, especially when you're doing a big when you're trying to do a big project as such as building a school. That helped a lot. And Tina, I tell you, if its environment is such an interesting thing, because they called like the head of construction or the head carpenter. This guy would construct everything. He got his people. If he was in America, he would have like some big time job. Noah, who's a principal, would be like a project manager here. But what amazed me most about that project was the efficiency, the speed, the way in which they constructed this school building in about 4 months.
Wow.
And the way I think about it is they know that their children have no choice, right? The entire community came together to make this happen, because time waits for no one. Time is not waiting for their kids. And the longer they don't have a space to come in to learn, the more educational gap that their children are going to have. And it was amazing for me to see the process. Like, I didn't come in as someone based in America and said, this is how you should build your school. No,
Right. Right.
they are in their community. They understand the way to go into the forest to get the material, the way to put
Mm.
the material together, the way to
Wow.
structure it so it can last, right? They're smart. The only thing that separates us is where you were, like how you were born, right? Or where you were born. That's all that separates us. If not the skills, the skill set that they've had to build over the years, just shine through. And we were able to build our brand new school. It
Yes.
pre-K, K. It goes up to, so in Nigeria it's called nursery and primary. So it goes up to primary 6. And I was so fortunate last year.
What is primary six compared to here?
Oh,
Because that was
primary
another
6
thing
is
we were
like
trying to
6th grade
understand the
here.
sizes. The sizes. So
Yeah, so
pre-K is
it's first grade. So I'll consider it here, pre-K and K, and then first grade through 6th grade.
okay.
Right. So elementary school ends here at 5th grade. Ours in Nigeria stops at 6. So it's that foundational time that we focus on at the school. And one thing to mention, everyone, it's completely free. The children who are attending this school, they don't pay, right? We completely fund our school through fundraising, through partners, through donors, through people like you, Tina, who come in and help us out at our points of needs. You never know what impact you're having when you just come at the right time. And so that's how the school has been funded all throughout this year. Noah, who's our principal, has lived in the community, still lives in the community, and this is sort of like a mandate to him. He was probably the only one in his family that went to elementary school. This was a mandate that God put in his heart to make sure that children within this community have a fighting chance of receiving education. And so in 2021, when I went back to Nigeria, Tina, I'll share one thing. All these projects that I've done in through my nonprofit, I had never visited, but I've just been blessed to be partnered with the right people
Right. Right.
and form like long-standing relationships where I respect them, right? A lot of times people go into low-income communities and you don't respect the people. But when you show them respect, when you treat them as an equal, when you are asking them questions and they're like, oh, my opinion actually matters, the things I have to share actually matters. Of course, they want to learn from us because we're in America, maybe a bit more exposed. But once you treat people with respect at base for just being human, they hold on to you. And so when I visited Makoko for the first time last year in 2021, August. Out of this world. Out of this world. I just thought,
Makoko, that's where the school is.
yes, it's called
Okay.
Makoko, Makoko, in Lagos,
Okay.
Nigeria. And so when I visited, they welcomed me in ways in which I can't even, I was just like, I was so overwhelmed with emotion, right? And they brought children from 8 years ago who are now getting ready to go to college. And they speak about the school with so much pride. I am a product of the great Wynina Nursery and Primary School. Ma, thank you so much for everything that you have done has allowed me get to this point where I am now ready to go to university. These are children who would have never had an opportunity to even dream. Like they don't even like they can't even dream or see, right? And so, but for them seeing me actually in flesh, was so encouraging to them that some wanted to be doctors, lawyers, they all had like real big dreams, and they just felt like it was possible for them because they passed through
The
Wynina.
school.
So that's what I'm telling you. Everything you're doing, ripple effect. It goes a really, really long way in making a difference. The fact that they feel like people care about them, care about their well-being. Yeah. Let
Two
me
more,
pause
two
there.
more, two more questions for you. How did it feel? Like even today, just to know, like I got a little deposit because I'm doing a GoFundMe, and this morning I saw where someone made a donation, and I was just like, I cried.
Yeah.
Not a boo hoo cry, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is really happening.
Absolutely.
And this is the woman who donated. I met her. She took one of my spin classes, and she donated $100. And I was like, wow. I don't, I just know her from Instagram. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is really going to happen? It's really going to happen. And I haven't even done anything yet. How does it feel for you with all the stuff you've done? When the children came up to you, share with us how that felt.
Like I said, it was extremely emotional for me, but I also just felt really blessed and also really privileged to be in their presence. My mind was blown away by how much confidence that these children had. You could see the hope glimmer in their eyes. So for me, I was just like, wow, this thing that I'm doing from so far away is having this impact in their lives. It was a privilege. It's a privilege. I don't take it for granted that I'm able to, some way, somehow make a difference in their lives from the path. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to cry, but pretty much like,
Girl, you got me there. You got me there because I'm
yeah,
just thinking how this moment in time has happened. Like I met Mo at Agape Church. She started taking my classes. You took my class in the gym. And then I think of like my son who was murdered. And now because of that, it inspired me to donate sneakers. And then I'm thinking about Africa over there. And it's just so overwhelming how they talk about like nature and nurture. Like, not to say that God had any of this plan, but how it's just coming together. And I always say the one thing, yes, my son is gone, but just knowing that his death will do something, will change the world in some sort of way. And just knowing that these children, these 300 children, hopefully someone will get more, wearing these sneakers, long live Molly Gaines, a lion-hearted legend. That's his website there. That's,
yes.
that his death didn't go in vain. So I'm just like, wow, wow.
Yes, yes, yes. It's completely special. It is extraordinary, rests his soul, but it has now opened. I just feel like he's smiling down on you, knowing that this is happening at this very moment in time. That you're still carrying on his legacy. These children will not forget. You won't forget. Your heart is in the right place. There's something that is to be said of the prayers also that they say that they're going to be saying for you. You are now in their prayer book. And the prayers of children, I feel, are the purest. They carry us a lot. And so if anything, I'm telling you, if I say like my child is sick or I'm not feeling well, they start prayers. And there's nothing like
I
having that
love it. I
constant
love it. I love
prayers,
it. You, you
into your life. That for me is enough.
You
Um,
just made me think. You just made me think of something. I was telling people when they donate the shoes, I want them to put a note in the sneakers, either a pair of socks or some type of motivational affirmation. And it just made me think. I want to get a little card with his logo and a picture of him. And so I need, if there's any printers out there, okay, I'm looking for someone to
listen,
print 300 cards that I want to put in each sneaker. So when the kid gets the sneaker, they know why they got it. That's
yes,
something you just made me think of. So I know you're a busy woman. I have one more question before you get out of here.
yes,
If you're just tuning in, guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel, LinkedIn, Facebook. We are talking about the sneaker drive that I'm doing this year. I'm collecting 300 pairs of sneakers, and this is a woman who's helping my dream come true. She has a nonprofit, and she connected me with the school there. The name of the school is Juanina.
yes.
Did I say?
And you know the meaning of Wainina, right? It means love.
Yeah.
Wainina
Oh,
means love. Yes,
Juanina,
yes.
Children's Foundation. I want to know what's next for you. I mean, girl, you've already got your book. Can we see your book again? She has a
Oh, for
bestseller book,
sure.
and her book is
Let me
teaching you
see.
guys. She came
Oh,
to America from Nigeria when she was 17 years
I
old. She
can
is
see
now
the light.
chief financial. What's your position again, girlfriend?
I'm the chief financial officer and one of the owners of Mancini Duffy, which is an architecture and interior design firm based out of NYC.
Woo, woo. Is that major, guys? And from 17 years old to that, and she's not even 40 yet. Oh my gosh, she's fabulous. I love it.
Thank
And her
you.
book tells you how she did it, how you can do it. She's done so many amazing things. She's helping me, supporting me to get these sneakers there. So, what is next for you? She started, guys, by crocheting 30, you said 30, right?
Yes, 30 hats.
Crocheting 30 hats for, well, that wasn't for Nigeria, that was for New York,
No, that
correct?
was for here. Yes,
Oh, for
yes.
here. So, and she's mentioned in the beginning two major things I got out of this interview with her. You have to start small. You don't have to start huge. Okay. I have been on this mission, guys, for years. Okay. This fitness thing, this motivational thing, I've been doing it for years. So, my goal is all the people that support me will support this mission. So, this
Amen.
hasn't happened overnight. If you're just starting, you're thinking, well, what can I do? She started by crocheting hats and gave them to an organization in New York. We also talked about the ripple effect. So one thing lead to another, lead to another. Mo, if you're watching this, thank you, Mo, for connecting me with Bolane. Did I say it right that time?
Yes.
I'm trying.
You're trying.
Who had a beautiful birthday. You have to follow her on Instagram. She's done so many amazing things. I want you to share with us what is next. Boom.
Ah, what's next for me is just continued growth. So with Mancini, we're looking to grow to scale. So the next 1 year plus is going to be an incredible time for myself and my partners. I'm constantly always giving back. So with She Builds Lives, we have incredible projects happening. We are currently running our drive. We're building a tutored learning center in an IDP camp. So IDP stands for Internally Displaced People's Camp in Abuja, also based in Nigeria. So we've run a summer camp program over the last 6 years. We built a center over the last 2. We now want to build a nicer, bigger center. And so constant service, as always. I just turned 37 on Monday. So this is my serving year. This is my serving
Yay.
year. So continue to give back to home and then continue to grow here. So yeah, that's
Yes.
what's next for me. And then of course my book. Please support my book. Lots
Yay.
of good things happening with it over the next 6 months. So I'm really excited.
And your children, I mean, guys, I told you her Instagram is always popping. She does themed parties. Tell me something that inspires you or your children. I want to hear a story because I don't know your family. I just know you. But I feel like I know your kids.
Yes.
How do they feel about everything that you're doing? Do they say, Mommy, you should stop, you're doing too much? What are their thoughts?
No, no. I think, so for me, raising Black children in America in the environment that we're in right now, it's very, very important that they see their mom and dad really doing great things in their careers, but also caring for other people who are not as privileged as we are, we always have to remember that, where we are at, the positions that we're at, it's a position of privilege. They always have to see us giving back, always have to see us performing acts of service, because that's what keeps you grounded as you're attaining success, right? You still have to, some way, somehow, connect back with folks who are not at the level that you're at, so that you're giving back. And so for my daughter is very, like, she's the typical firstborn. She's like, "Mommy, my Monday is free. I need to find my activity for Monday." So she's very much into, like, piano, sports. She's very athletic. She does her thing there. So she's busy. My son, secondborn, typical secondborn, wild child. He's living his life. And in terms of how they see me, I think they were impressed. They're like, "So, Mommy, are you like the boss now?" When I became CFO, your money, and this is what you're doing at work, right? So they see it. Children pay attention to how you live your life, not just the words that are coming out of your mouth, right? And so I think for them it's really exciting. I pull them into any of the projects that we're doing through She Builds Lives, so that they see people from where we're from. They know they are Nigerian American, so stay grounded in that knowledge, right? And stay grounded and connected to home. And but at the end of the day, with all of these things I've said, I'm still mom. I'm still mommy. Mommy, come do this for me. It's the fancy titles end at the door. At home.
I love how you say the fancy titles stay at the door. I love it. I love it. And I think this is the first time I've ever heard anyone say Nigerian American. Because I guess I assume since both parents were Nigerian, they wouldn't be Nigerian, but I guess it makes sense, Nigerian American.
Yes. I mean, for us, it's important, culture, community, how myself and my husband were raised. Again, because our foundational years were not here. We have to try to, but we like how we were raised. We have to try to do the same here for them. So food, culture, music, what they hear, who they see, how they see communities supporting each other is very important to us.
Girl, first of all, the music, the dancing. I don't know if you ever see the post, the little boys dancing. I'm like, how do they move like that? My daughter says they come out the womb looking like that.
Like that.
Just dancing.
It's my kids here. We make sure they watch it, because sometimes you gotta have that rhythm. It has to be your hips.
I love it. And then, so my daughter lives in California, and I don't know the name of the event she went to, but apparently it was a jollof competition.
Okay.
Which country made the best jollof? And I was like, Nigeria. But apparently Ghana won at this particular event.
No, maybe it was the chef. Maybe it was the chef. I don't know.
I love it. So Mo's always making it for him, like, not too spicy.
She likes that kick.
Yes. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time. I'll be doing a recap. We have a couple more weeks. Like I said, this Sunday, if you're in the Georgia area, I'm collecting sneakers there, or you can go to the GoFundMe to donate money. It's Molly Gaines sneaker drive on GoFundMe. New Jersey, too bad you guys will be away. I would love to have you as a speaker at our women's empowerment events. But that's the goal, is to have all the sneakers by August. In August, they're going to be shipped. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to raise all the money. We're going to ship them to New York. From New York, they're going to Nigeria. That's the plan. Even though my sponsor, she's like, put them in suitcases and get on the plane with them, Tina.
Listen, Tina, you never know. You see yourself on the plane.
I do.
I put it out there.
Yes, I see myself there dancing with the little boys in the dirt, eating my jollof rice.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I want.
Even if you will go this year, but even if you don't go this year, it's a real life-changing experience. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. So I treasure that moment a lot.
Yay. I'm hugging you. Thank you. The kids are hugging you. See you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. Bye-bye.